They told us the world was empty, just resources waiting to be named. That nothing listens in the mountains, that nothing remembers our names. They took the pulse out of the soil, called the old ways superstition, said meaning only lives in distance, and wonder needs permission. Once the sacred lived in daylight, in the river, in the herd. You could feel it in your breathing, before belief had words. Then they lifted it away from us, put it somewhere clean and cold, so the earth became a thing to use, and not a story ever told. Wake up, this forgetting was designed. They said the gods were childish, that the land was deaf and dumb. They laughed at anyone who listened, at anyone who felt the hum. They crowned abstraction as the highest, putting numbers where the mystery was. Traded living presence for a symbol we applaud. Now we kneel to distant powers we've never touched or seen, while the ground beneath our cities is scraped down to the bone and screamed. Wake up, you were never meant to live like this. They don't want you awake in your body. They don't want you since in the field. They want your awe pointed upward, away from what is real. Because a God you can't feel, can't feel, can't argue, can't bleed, can't resist. But a sacred world looks back at you and asks what you will choose. I'm not saying go backward, I'm saying remember forward. Remember when the wind meant something, before it was just measured. The old gods weren't rulers, they were patterns in place. They were how the world spoke, through bark, blood, and face. They didn't demand obedience, they demanded attention. And attention is dangerous to systems built on dissociation. Wake up, your senses are not a flaw. Wake up. They told us consciousness was private, locked behind the skull. But the forest never believed that, neither did the skull. Something moves between us, something shared and wide, but it can't be owned or centralized, so they teach us to deny. They replaced presence with distance, replaced kinship with command, replaced the living world with something safely abstract and grand. Now we worship systems, call it normal, call it fate, while the rivers carry plastic and the seasons hesitate. Wake up, this isn't progress, it's amputation. The sacred didn't leave, it was renamed and dismissed and sold. It's still here in the shiver, before a storm, in the grief you feel, for a place place you've never been. That grief is memory, not metaphor. You don't need altars, you don't need permission. You need to feel the ground again and notice it's listening. Wake up, not to a god in the sky. Wake up to a world that was never dead.
They are afraid.
You might remember that you belong.